For this time in the Quick Speed Shop, I'm back working on the 40 Mercury project. Last time I built an overrider for the bumper, for the license plate mount and all that. That's done. I got the bumper off. This time we're going to concentrate on getting some seam sealer put on the trunk pan here. Then I want to finish up the trunk floor and maybe make a panel to blank off this old license plate reveal in here. So we're going to work on all that stuff, and it's all starting right now. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. Okay, here we go. We'll get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I sealed up this trunk area with some Eastwood seam sealer. We'll cut to that. We'll watch that right now. Okay, I got some fancy gloves on here. And what we're going to do, we're going to seam seal all these gaps here. So I've taken some masking tape. It didn't need to be 2 inches wide. I ran out of my 3/4 tape, so I used 2-inch tape. But anyways, we're going to spooge all these gaps up. So we got some Eastwood high solid seam sealer in black. This is going to, let's see what we got here. Fast curing, no sag, 60 minutes. Paintable in 60 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to spooge all these seams up. I've got gloves on because I'm using my finger, and I'm going to right down along these edges where the, like here where the metal is, there's a little gap. I'm going to spooge it on, then use my finger to smooth it. This isn't a real, what should I say? It's not a real precise. I'm just kind of get a bead, but I don't want it smeared all over Hell's Half Acre, so that's why I'm using the tape. But it's going to be in the trunk here, and so I'm not real concerned about it. So I just threw some tape on real fast. Let me climb back in the trunk. We'll spooge some on out, and we'll start sealing up this trunk. I've got to do the inside of the wheel tubs underneath the car and all that, but this will be a good way for you guys to see here. I'll do the trunk, so let me climb on in, and we'll hit it. I finally realized I could take the back off my chair. Now I got a stool to use. A lot more comfortable, so I can actually work in here. This Mustang gas tank worked out awesome because I got a hole to sit in to work in the car. So I got my gun here. Oh, there we go. I cut the tip kind of wide because we're going to do a lot of filling with this, but I'm just going to go here. Ooh, that's nice. Lace them out like that. And I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to work it. Spread it in here. Now the tape gives me a nice line for once I peel the tape off, it'll have a nice solid line. But I'm just going to work this down, smooth it with my finger as I go, and it's going to seal this up. But I'm going to do this edge last because I'm going to lay on it. If I do it now, I'll end up laying in it. It'll be all over the place. Ooh, nice. All right. Stuff goes a long way here. It's pretty soft. It goes quite a ways. I've got a lot on here. Okay, so before this gets too tacky, I want to peel the tape off so the edges can roll down smooth, not like dry and leave a hard line there. And the stuff seems to tack up pretty fast. So I'm going to get in here and peel this tape out. Try not to get black on everything. Lacquer thinner will take it off if you get it where you don't want it to go. But we just got to application of it on there everywhere. Bam. Okay, I got the wheel wells done. I put a liberal amount up in there to really seal them up good. I didn't use the tape. I just kind of wadded up in there because these wheel wells are going to be painted black, so you're not going to see it with the tire up in there. Oh, those spots where I missed to my finger I can take off with a razor blade, but spooged her up in there real good. It's all sealed up. I've still got to grind these plug welds down. Then I will, the seam here, I will tape that off and tighten up the bottom of that seam with seam sealer after I get that all ground down. But she's sealed up both sides all the way. In the back here I got my cheap tape off. I got to use a little bit of lacquer thinner to get some residue off. It stuck right away to the metal kind of more than I wanted to. But this stuff sets up really fast, like within like a couple minutes, so you want to get the tape right back off immediately. I had some spots where it was starting to lift with the tape and it lays down. I had to re-dab it with my fingers, but I got it laid down. You know, this is just pretty fast and rough here, but for the trunk it's going to be under carpet or whatever eventually, so you're not going to see it. But I got her all sealed, seamed up. She's all sealed up good. And then both those wheel tubs are sealed on the inside, both sides. You can see it's like squished right out there, so it's in there good. So I still got to go under the car where all the square structure is, the 3/4 squared steel tubing, and I'm going to seam seal all that. I'm going to lay under there and just like goop the whole underside of the car up, get it all sealed up real nice, and then it'll be ready to start priming most of the metal, get the primer and the paint on it. But it's really important to seal the seams all up so I don't get moisture up between the panels where it's bare metal and it'll rust. So I'm going to take my time under there. I'm going to really hit it good, seal it all up good. I've got to get inside the car, the trunk firewall on the inside and the front of the wheel tubs and the floor. I've got to seal all that up. So my goal is just keep attacking it tonight and get the whole thing sealed up, and they'll be ready for primer and paint after that. So now the next thing I want to do is blank off the rest of this trunk area. I've got all my bumper brackets welded on and all that. There's a reason I left this open so I could focus on that. That's all done, so I want to weld up some blanks in here, blank off the rest of this trunk. I might make the centerpiece removable so I got some access to get down in here. I'm going to think about that. But I think I'm going to use some like 18 gauge sheet metal and we'll just blank this in and tie that in. So I'll start making some patterns and getting that thing going and we'll do it. Okay, I got my pattern cut out here. My rough shape. Can I get this down in here? It's going to, this dotted line is a little break I got to bend because this piece of angle is flat where the gas tank mount is, but this is an angle, so I got to break that up. It pushes up into here. I'll probably be able to get a tack on here to the body like I did over here. And then this whole back section, since the car is all painted through here, this is just going to butt up tight, and I'm going to seam seal all this. But there's structure under here, so that'll be fine. And then it'll tie. The structure's all tied into the back of the car through here through the license plate bracket, so there's no need to attach back here. It'll just come up and seam seal up against it. So I got that made. Got it transferred over here onto my 18 gauge sheet metal. So I'm going to get out the cutter and I'll wing ding this out, and then hand trim it and fit it and get it close to fitting there. And then I can take the pattern and flip it around for the other side. Let's see, like this. But I got to do some changing. I don't need a wire hole over here. I got to trim it and fit, so I'll be able to use this pattern over here on the other side. So I'll get out my tool, I'll cut this out, and then we'll go from there. Bam. Sharp. Here's a tip: when you cut sheet metal out like this and you got a lot of sharp edges and stuff sticking out, this is a good poker here. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. You got less chance of sticking yourself. Same thing there. I'll cut those corners off, so nothing worse than getting hammered on a real sharp corner. So I just got to do a little bit of trimming up here and then trim this out, and we'll get over there and try to fit it in. Okay, I got this side ready to weld in here. It looks good. It's fitting good. Got all my plug weld holes drilled, ready to go. And I put the nut cert in here for the gas tank and to help squeeze that down. So, oh, almost tipped over here. So maybe I'll cut the other side out get that fitted up in there too, and then I can go ahead and just weld the whole thing all in one shot. I think that'll be my plan. But I want to show you that it's fitting good. Looks good. So I'll cut out the other one and then we'll weld the whole one thing in one shot. Bam, got the other panel made in here. We're ready to weld. Get the Miller welder fired up. So I think I'm going to set you up on the old time lapse here, and I'll buzz bomb all these holes in. Then we're going to make this removable panel here that's going to bolt to the two gas tank holes here. And I'll probably just put 2 zip screws in it, and I can be able to remove this to get down in here if I need to. So bam, look at that. Alright, here we go. Time for the time lapse. Bam, there we go. Got that panel made. Simply went and it just bolts through the 2 bolts that hold the gas tank down. So if I ever need to get in here, I can just take the 2 bolts out of the gas tank and take the 2 zip screws out of here and take the panel out. But look at this. We got her all sealed up now. You can see what it looks like with the gas tank floor in the trunk. Man, that's awesome. So this should have plenty of storage in here. I've still got to figure out some kind of filler neck. I'd like to keep it as short as possible, but it's probably going to end up being about 3 inches off the bottom of the tank here. I thought about maybe making like a false floor that would go up here and hinge and come out like flush to the back of the drip rail here, so the filler neck would be under there, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. For now, I'm not sure what's going on, so I've got to investigate what I'm going to do for this filler cap. But anyways, this came out nice. I've just got to get the seam sealer out. Like in the beginning of the video, I'll seal it all around here. Sealed up in here all the way around up good. But I got my wires run down through there into plastic looms, so they're safe. And I think it came out pretty nice. So that pretty much concludes all the sheet metal work on the 40 Mercury, the majority of the work. I believe, yeah, I got everything all buttoned up, all the sheet metal work is done. What I still need to do is get the rear seat mounted. I think you would have seen by now, yeah, you've seen it by now. I went to the junkyard and I pulled a seat out of a Mazda minivan. We're going to check and see how that fits in there, see if it works out for the back seat. But this is essentially done back here. Like I said, I just got to do something to filler neck and then seam seal all this, paint it. I'm going to use Herculiner truck bed liner material, which I like to use for like rough surfaces. It actually looks like somebody already put it on top of this gas tank. But I'm going to Herculine this flat surface, the trunk floor surface. I'm going to leave the panel behind the seat just painted because I might want to glue fabric to that later, and it'll be really hard to glue it to this rubberized surface. But I think I'm going to Herculine the floor, maybe these wheel tubs, I'm not sure. I have trunk panels that go in here and go up over the wheel wells that were in the car originally, so it'll have, the trunk will be like half upholstered, and then eventually I'm going to figure out what to do, like get a red carpet in here or whatever I'm going to do. But in the meantime, the Herculiner will make a structural and abrasive proof coating that will allow stuff not to slide around, and it'll be durable, and if it gets water like in here, it'll run off and stuff like that. So really happy how this came out. It's looking awesome. And oh, I got one more thing. Check this out. I need a spare tire. Originally up here there's a stud that spins down here. It's on a spring, and there was a bracket, and this hump wasn't like this. There was a little bit of a well, and you could fit a 16-inch, 600 by 16 tire in here for the full-size spare. Well, I don't plan on getting a flat tire, and I just need something to get it off the road and back to a garage. So what I've got here is a donut spare. Now this is off a 1993 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra, and the Cutlass Sierra just happens to have a metric bolt pattern. I'm not sure what it is, like 5 on 114. I don't know what the metric patterns are, but essentially it measures out to 5 on 4.5, which is a Ford pattern. And this wheel fits on here. It's a small, it's a 15-inch, I think. Yeah, 125 70 15. This tire is brand new. It's from 1993. I junked a Cutlass Sierra like 10 years ago, and this tire's in the trunk, but it's brand new. It's still got the nubs on it, no dry rot. So I'm going to use it here, and it just happens to fit. Bam! Perfect up in there. Now I'll make a new bracket to tie it down here to clamp it in place, but it fits perfect. It doesn't take up a lot of space in the trunk, and I can probably get like a vinyl cover made for it and a upholster over it so it it doesn't look like a spare, but it takes up very little space back here, and it gives me a spare in case I ever get a flat tire on the road. I'll be able to limp the car along on the donut spare. So that's a win. I knew I had this stashed somewhere. I had to go looking for it, but I had it out in the back in the junk. And bam, here we go. It's ready to go in the back of the 40 Mercury. Don't trash it when you can stash it. And bam, 10 years later, it comes in handy. So that's it. Come back next time. We'll both start working on getting that rear seat mounted, and I'm going to blow the whole back of this car apart, get everything all seam sealed up, primed, and painted. Hopefully we'll be able to set the car on the ground here real soon and get it ready, because spring's coming. I want to get this thing on the road. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you again at the Quick Speed Shop.